My name is Caroline Leavitt. Today I'm reading from Her Amid the Guns, True Stories from the Western Front, 1914 to 1918 by Jacqueline, Larson, Carmichael. Early pictures of George and Laura Knutson Vowel on their honeymoon in Idaho show a couple in love, picnicking on the grass, a camera nearby for memorable snapshots. She was wooed by his intensity, his deep-set blue eyes, haunted and somehow vulnerable and vivid. He looked at her with such attention. She thought she knew what it meant. She assumed love and patience and understanding and closeness. What a good father he would be to their offspring. She admired his muscled frame, his farming background, and his dashing profile and uniform. They had so much in common, she thought. She was quiet, he was quiet, but she didn't know why he was quiet. She didn't know about the battery of images flickering behind his eyelids, or that war was both the making of him and his undoing. The children came soon enough. This seemed to be where things started to fall apart. The first was a boy, blonde curls tousled, bright blue eyes, merry, but fatherhood was another kind of trench. George teased the child mercilessly, excluding him for the slightest offense, engaging him in battle. She was as compassionate as she could be, walking on eggshells amid his ragings, blaming herself. She could hardly blame the war. He would never talk about it. More children quickly followed, the depression on their heels. There was limited paid work, limited food, limited money, but unlimited bitterness. George's taste for booze, nurtured for years in the trenches, made him itchy with a misery that was unscratchable. And when his buddies came for a visit, old friends, or the few left after the chaos of war, the few who knew what the chaos was, from the good old bad days in the trenches, they would sit at the lake. Catch fish or not, get good and drunk, but he couldn't be both good and drunk. In peacetime, the chaos was still there, just different. It meant 5 growing kids who needed their holy shoes lined with cardboard to keep out the dirt and the cold. The battle now was eking out a living. In a Dust Bowl drought, the skirmishers fought with the price per ton of grain. It was hard, perhaps, to sympathize with his kids who, despite deprivations of the Great Depression, still had it easier than the poor devils who never made it home after giving it their full measure. Laura wondered, why should their oldest son cringe in a corner, hiding tears behind his blonde curls? Why did George bellow? Why was he a mean drunk instead of a jovial one? Were the guns in the distant past almost as loud to him, with peace at every turn, as they ever were on the Western Front? Was he ever a boy, or was he his father's created wrench hand, as his son was to him? Did his father apply the iron of his will to break his? Did war start this? How many generations of family can the parasite of war work its way through? From high hopes to last hopes to no hopes. Laura put up with the tumult, endured the chaos, tried to get the kids to be good, to be quiet, but when the last of them were safely out of school, she left him because he shot her dog. Because they say what a bully does to a wall or an animal, he'd like to do to somebody else. And because sometimes love is not enough, and because there was no language for what dog George, no therapy, no diagnosis, no treatment. And when he died, a decade later, she shed her tears at a distance. Tears for him, for her. Tears for all the men, for all the sons and daughters cut down for generations, for an eternal onslaught of emotions over a phantom war that was never quite over.